Welcome, everybody, to the Chicago 60 podcast. I am your illustrious host, Justin Jaywar. And next to me here, the other illustrious host.
Oh, yeah, I'm supposed to say my name. I am Norman.
Norman.
Did I do good?
Yes,
Right,
that was fantastic. We got Stormin' Norman right here. And, of course, we always have our tech man, our man in the booth, Manny Fresh. Manny Fresh is here with us.
How's it going? Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Manny Fresh. Welcome, everybody. We have an amazing episode here for you. We've got an unbelievable amount of news coming from Chicago and Illinois. We have a lot to get to, so we're not going to waste any more time. And it's only 8:15. We're only 45 minutes beyond when we said we were going to do it. No big deal. Whatever.
No one knows. No one knows.
Will, yeah. Whatever. But let's just get right to it, because we got a bunch of cool stuff to talk about right now. It is time for the podcast.
Yeah, what he said.
You're not drinking. You're doing something wrong, folks. All right, let's get to it. Remember, this podcast will have guests. We will do stuff on location. We're going to have a lot of cool stuff for you moving forward. But right now, we are focusing on Chicago news and bringing you the information you need to know about what's going on in this amazing city of ours currently. So, without further ado, it's time for the news. Okay, let's get straight to the news. Norm.
I'm excited.
Yes, there are so many cool things happening.
That's what I heard.
Yes.
Wait, can we talk about the random ass snowing outside
Oh
yesterday?
my God, yes. Oh my God, good
Because
points.
out of nowhere, Chicago decided that it wasn't done yet. Okay? That it was decided like, oh yeah, we're going to have 60s, nice wind. And then Sunday, something happened.
It was all perfectly planned out for the premiere of Game of Thrones
Yes!
Season 9.
Winter is coming!
The Night King came and brought his snow, and that is what
Jackass.
happened. Yeah.
No.
Where was Jon Snow and Daenerys Targaryen when you needed them? Okay? The big battle hasn't happened yet, but it could have been here in Chicago.
Could have been here
It
in
could have been
Chicago.
here in Chicago because it was snowing like crazy. It was how did they thunder snow. That was it. It was a
Thunder
thunder snow. There was legit thunder. I called you and you actually told me that there was thunder.
It was thunder, and then there was snow.
What in the hell was that? I actually did a live video yesterday telling all of you that we were delaying the podcast because of the thunder snow.
The thunder snow.
That is correct. Manny was lost in a ditch. Norm got lost in the vast trekness of he was in.
I was home.
Yeah, that's right.
Sitting in a chair, a recliner, in fact, eating chicken nuggets.
And
I was good.
I was laying on the couch binge watching Netflix. Because what else do you do in Chicago when it's snowing like that and it's a monsoon blizzard?
You go to work. You act like nothing's going wrong. You just tread your way through cold and slush and sadness.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That is correct. There are plenty of memes out there. I've seen some from some of our followers, some great ones, on what it's like to be in Chicago. Again, if you travel here, prepare for all of it. Bring all clothing apparel,
all of it
whatsoever. Okay, it's very important. And also, Norm, I mean, summer is coming, so we do have a mission in the summer that we're trying to accomplish.
What mission is that?
There is a certain thing that we're trying to get on in the summer.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I believe you have mentioned on the previous two podcasts a potential goal that we're trying to achieve in the summer. We're trying to meet somebody who has...
You mean a boat?
Yes!
Yeah, so, anyone out there, anyone at all, ladies, gentlemen, I mean, anyone in between, I am looking for a boat. We are looking for a boat, and I'm not just talking about a dinghy. I'm not talking about something small. To rephrase that, if you could send in a small boat that we can put in a champagne bottle that I can break off of a larger boat, I'd be greatly appreciated. But also, we need a yacht, something to throw a wild hootenanny on.
Correct.
We just want to break a bottle off a boat.
Right.
Okay?
That'll be on the podcast. We'll definitely live stream that for sure. We will be breaking a bottle of champagne that has a little boat in it that has another person banging a bottle on it. It's going to be a very intricate process. You don't want to miss it, Chicago.
You make a brown boy who can swim happy.
Oh, that is very nice. All right.
Wow, that was your safest, safest thing you ever, where
That
your
is
teacher
my-
came out.
That is my safe white man response.
That is very nice.
Very, very good, Norm.
That's when someone says something really weird to you in public, and you're like, "Oh, that's great."
Yeah, this is what we call our the pleasantries, the niceties of being a human being. Oh, it's like when somebody shows, do you want to see a picture of my cat? Do you want to see a picture of my newborn baby? Oh, wow. I don't care about your kid, okay? All right? I won't do that to other people. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I show people my cat all the time, so.
All right, and I have to look at his photos. And you know what I do? Oh, Norm, fantastic.
He means it.
Yeah, in the moment. But going back to the snow, which is interesting, is that so Chicagoans can handle this, but people in the South typically cannot handle it. There was a situation in Atlanta where they got like an inch or two of snow, and things went crazy. Whoa, cars were skidding off the road. People were going crazy.
Well, I mean, in the South, I'm from South Carolina, you shut shit down.
Right,
Like,
it's shut down.
It snows. You go get your bread and your milk and whatever important thing you needed from Walmart, and you shut that shit down.
Exactly.
Here, you people walk around and just do stuff.
I walk in shorts in like 40-degree weather. I'm okay with it. That's a real man. That's right. Like Ron Burgundy.
Just to let you know.
Ron Swanson. I'm Ron Swanson.
A real man has frostbite on his legs.
That's right. That's how you do it. But you know what is interesting is that in Atlanta, they had to shut stuff down because of snow.
Yeah, of course.
And you know what they ended up sending us was they started sending their attack birds to us. Now, some of you who may have listened to the podcast last week may have referenced a story that we did about falcons. That in Boston, they were trying to bring back falcons to get rid of pigeons, to get rid of pigeon poop. Brilliant logic.
Yeah.
So we were joking about how we didn't want the Atlanta Falcons to come to Chicago. As much as I'd like to see Matt Ryan throwing footballs trying to kill pigeons, I don't really want that to be happening. But that's okay, because another professional sports team from Atlanta is apparently actually here already doing that, and that would be the Atlanta Hawks. And I'm not talking really about the sports team, just Hawks in general. We went from Falcons to Hawks, people. There are Hawks all over the urban areas and neighborhoods of the city. They are coming back, folks. I didn't even know they were gone, but they are back. They are back like Back to the Future. That is the worst reference I will make this entire podcast.
I hope so.
But Hawks are back. So apparently what has happened is there was a study that was done. Some researchers up at the University of Wisconsin.
Always.
At Madison had, of course it's always in Wisconsin. Damn Wisconsinites. But they did some research and they had found that hawks were actually very endangered species. And then all of a sudden, people were like, "Oh, they're endangered." And then nothing happened. Yeah, exactly. We basically left them alone, and then all of a sudden, they're just like, "This is the time to procreate," and made a fuck ton of more hawks.
They're like, "Wait,
and
they're
now
not
there
watching."
are hawks everywhere. They've basically migrated down into the Chicagoland suburbs, and now they're coming in to the city. The city. So now they're and now hawks are killing pigeons. So we already have our bird of prey to deal with the pigeon poop, and it's freaking hawks, not falcons. Hawks.
So now we need to send in eagles to kill the hawks.
That's right. You know what? And you know what specific type of hawk it is?
What?
A Cooper's hawk.
No,
we're not talking about the winery folks that you can find in Naperville and all other neighborhoods. I'm talking about a legitimate Cooper's hawk. I didn't even know that was an actual hawk. I thought somebody named Cooper's last name was Hawk, and they came out with the restaurant Cooper's Hawk. But legitimately, there's actually a hawk that is a Cooper's hawk. Yeah. If there's anybody who's watching this who's like an actual bird aficionado, bird watcher, please send us info. We will talk about it on the next episode. But this is insane. There's an actual Cooper's hawk, and they actually hunt pigeons, squirrels, and rabbits. That is That is nifty. That is nifty.
Okay.
So tons of rodents gonna be dead. Just dead.
And tons
animals.
of new birds.
And more birds.
Oh, great.
Who's killing the birds? Nobody. We kept on. We're gonna go hawk hunting.
I know some punk ass kids. I know some punk ass kids who can get rid of some hawks. I know a few.
Yeah, there's plenty of punk ass kids that can kill some hawks. I don't think we should be.
I don't think we should be condoning children. Don't go kill hawks because they will stab your eyes out. Okay. Don't go after hawks. If there are any children watching the show or any parents condoning that their children should go kill hawks, don't kill hawks.
Don't kill hawks.
Leave hawks alone.
Really, if you're a parent and you're letting your kids watch this, there's something wrong with you. So don't let your kids watch this, really. Right?
But if they want to.
They can. We're a family-friendly show. I kid. But yeah, so Hawks, Norm. No Falcons, just Hawks. But Atlanta, stay the hell out of our city, okay? We don't want your damn birds. All right, Norm, some other interesting news that I read. There is allergy season is going to be pushed back. So if you have allergies, all right.
Get back. Allergies. Get back. Allergies. We don't need you here.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
That was not the reaction I was expecting.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
We're pushing it back. We don't want allergies here. We're taking a step back and we're going, no, Pollen, you stay where you are, okay? You're not getting mine. This is all mine. You ain't getting it. Yeah. No, I'm good about that.
Huh. I would have thought maybe, get it done out of the way quicker, but you're like, no, let's delay.
What are you talking about?
Usually it's sooner. This isn't like it's just been pushed back is all it means. It's it's still going to be the same amount of time. It's just delayed.
Let's just shove it back, okay? I'm a procrastinator, okay?
You want to rip off the Band-Aid?
No. Let's procrastinate that shit all the way to winter.
Okay.
Let's just push that stuff all the way back.
Let's just keep pushing it back until winter, and then we'll just have missed it.
Yeah.
It'll just never have existed.
We won't go outside anyway.
I love it. Yeah. Great. Well, if you do have allergies, it's coming. Just like winter and Game of Thrones. It's coming.
It'll be here.
It's going to be happening in the end of April to the beginning of May sometime. Now, they have a interesting thing called the Gottlieb allergy count. Mm-hmm. And you can they actually so they have researchers out there, and they're actually monitoring the pollen. So what's interesting is that pollen will come from a variety of other sources, but before the main pollen season, there's a lot of pollen that comes from trees. And they've actually done statistical analysis to find out that the main pollen culprits are your maple tree.
Cut it down.
Oak tree.
Cut it down.
Beech trees.
Cut that down.
And cottonwood trees.
Okay, I'm not touching that.
Yeah, don't be messing with cottonwood because
it's
it'll make your mouth foam.
Okay, that too. it's more of that.
All good references. But anyway, there is a hotline that you can call. So just go to literally type in Gottlieb allergy count, and legitimately there will be a hotline, and you can call them and find out exactly how much pollen I suppose is in the air and how dangerous it is for you if you're an allergy person to be outside. And they are recommending that people typically just don't go outside in the mornings. It's basically so whatever your general morning routine was, if you went out for a jog, don't. Just stay indoors, maybe put on a hazmat suit, and stay safe.
See, I need to send that information to my employer and be like, oh, nope, Gottlieb told me to stay inside. I'm sorry. Do you know how much pollen is outside right now? It's some damn cottonwoods. I think that's... I would make fun of this, but then I know I'll be on the phone tomorrow going, okay, so Gottlieb, seriously? And this lady named Pina's like, my name's not Gottlieb. No, but Gottlieb, be real. So how much pollen is in the air right now? My name is Tina, sir. And there's about 98% pollen.
Do you run the Gottlieb allergy count or not?
Gottlieb, you gotta be shitting me right now.
Gottlieb, are you running it or are you not running it? I need information now. I may sneeze all day. I need to know how much sneezing will be happening between the periods of 8 in the morning till I go to bed. When do you go to bed? I may never sleep now. I may never sleep.
You can't.
You can't if you're sneezing all the time.
There's pollen everywhere.
That's right.
That shit comes out of everything.
Yeah. Ugh. Do you ever? I mean, are you by a person who's allergic? It's horrendous. Nobody wants to be around that person.
You by a person?
Yeah.
Are you next? Have you ever been next to a person who has allergies? Are you disgusted by them? Are you upset when they sneeze all over the place because of something they can't control? Well, get them out of the city now. Call 1-800-GOTTLIB. We'll tell you where, when, and how to pick up the body.
They're not an escort service. They're just an information provider. This isn't like some secret government agency. Oh shit, the Gottliebs are coming. What is this, like the SS for pollen?
Dude, I don't trust that guy.
Get away from the trees!
I'm gonna call Gottlieb. I don't trust that person.
Oh, for goodness
That person looks
sakes.
like they got allergies. I'm gonna call Gottlieb.
It's like, oh my god, it sounds like one of those commercials for tires. Call the Gottlieb guys. Hey, Gottlieb. But anyway, it's a serious thing, so you can go to the hotline and you can find out how much pollen apparently is in the air or something. But
Cool.
General rule of thumb, just, don't go outdoors in the morning. Eventually you're going to have to, but, I think this could be a good excuse for people to delay going to work. I'm sorry, boss, but I have allergies and the pollen is super high. I consulted the Gottlieb, and Gottlieb told me.
Gottlieb
like,
said
who
so.
the hell is Gottlieb? I don't know, but it's a person named Gottlieb, and apparently they're important. So I got to come in at like 11. I got to avoid the morning rush.
That's something they need to jump on. Doctor's Notes by Gottlieb.
That's right. There's a new business proposal.
Yep.
Somebody may steal it, but hey, we thought of it first, so we got franchising rights on that.
Documentation.
Now, Norm, there's another thing that's very disturbing, not only about allergies, but there's a new strain of an infectious fungal infection that has been, and it's been really, it's almost at epidemic levels across the world. In the United States, there have been numerous counts of it already. There's already been about 150 in Chicago. They won't tell us what hospitals these people are infected in. I suppose the CDC says nay, but this infection is impervious to antibiotics, so it cannot be killed by antibiotics. So basically, if you get it, you have it, and it's killing people, and it's kind of a thing. And Chicago has the second highest reported counts of this, second to New York, and nobody knows about this. Hello, you think they're like, oh, we don't want people to know because we don't want to scare people.
Yeah.
There's an infection killing people, and you can't kill it. What?
This is actually a really good thing because so
I can't wait to hear this. Yes. Okay, I'm with you.
So have you seen one of the greatest movies ever made? It's called Super Mario Brothers. All right, and it's got John Leguizamo and that one bald white guy. And so in that movie, they go to an alternate universe that is covered in fungus. Okay, and it's actually the king. All right. So it's the king watching over the city, but he's fungus. And it just looks like a big booger that's kind of coming out of the ceiling. It's really disgusting, actually. It's really foul. But, I mean, follow me. Super Mario Brothers, this is a good thing.
How the hell did you get to that conclusion from that?
Well,
Did
because-
you just want to reference Super Mario Brothers?
No, but it's a childhood thing, and I feel like this is the beginning of something good.
Got it. So the fungus is eventually going to become a highly intelligent life
Yep.
form that will rule the world.
Yep.
Interesting.
Not the world, just the city.
Interesting.
Just the city.
Interesting. They actually have a story like that on Love, Death, and Robots, which is a new series on Netflix, which I would highly recommend. And there is an episode in there. They're all short. They're all like between 6 to 15 minutes long. And one of them is about a yogurt that becomes sentient and then ends up like telling the human race how to live better, and then it just like becomes so intelligent it just leaves Earth and just leaves us all to die basically.
Please tell me it's
So
still
that's what
in
this
the cup.
fungus is. This fungus is a yogurt.
Yeah.
So there you go. But in all seriousness, it is called Candida auris, and they're not entirely certain where the origins are because there doesn't seem to be one particular origin, which is what's very frightening about this, because it just keeps popping up randomly all over the place. And so people are just like, it's so bad that nurses and doctors won't even go into the rooms where these people have this infection. But it is noticeable. This isn't like some random thing.
Okay.
You would be able to see it. It's like I saw they were showing some like a petri dish of what it would look like, and it's kind of like a weird brown fungus that would be on your skin, so you'd be able to see it. So if you start seeing some people with some patchiness, some brown patchiness on their skin, you're just
This
black.
was
Norm.
mine. This was
That's
mine
right.
to begin with.
You're just black, Norm.
All right,
There's a
this
different
is
thing.
mine. That's fucking.
I said brown, like a weird mucusy brown. Weird mucusy brown.
Okay, yeah, whatever that means.
Weird mucusy brown.
Okay. Well.
Like yellowish brown.
Oh, okay.
Like
Thank
a
you.
yellowish brown.
Okay, that's sick.
Like like if pus were to crust That's
Oh, okay.
I know. I'm sorry. That's the visual I gave, but that's the
good.
visual. You know,
That
is the
sucks,
correct.
though.
And with that, I'm gonna have a sip of my beer.
Okay. That sucks though. That's crazy, and that no one's saying anything about it. That's kind of frightening too.
Yes.
Because I would just think that's an overgrown scab.
Yep.
Like, so.
Exactly. So be careful. It's really not that concerning. The other thing to mention here is the people who are typically getting this infection are people who already have some sort of an illness and or their immune systems are weakened and they are more susceptible to contracting any sort of illness. So that's why it's happening a lot in hospitals, is because people are already sick with something and this infection is basically attacking those people and making them their hosts. And the only problem is that it can't be killed. So it's not like if, regular people walking around, you're going to see these people with the fungus and be like, get away, heathen! And, throw some holy water on them, they're going to burn.
We have to be really careful with this because everyone's been watching The Walking Dead, and there's a few people who are ready to start killing people. There are a few people who, sometimes I'll walk around and go, Home Depot is the first place I'm going to. I'm getting a huge axe, and I'm going to start slicing people's heads open.
I'm going to beat him with the big piece of wood.
Yeah, it's going to get real.
I'm going to bash his brains in.
Like, the first moment, they're like, it's a zombie infection. I'm like, let's go.
Yeah, you pretty much you just need to avoid them, and you will because most of them are all in hospitals. So don't go into a room with one of these people in a hospital, and you should be fine. If you're a normal, healthy person, you're probably going to be A-okay. But it's just the fact that the reason why these viruses and infections and fungal diseases that are occurring, that they're impervious to antibiotics is happening is because we're over medicating so much. I don't use a lot of medications when I get sick. I eat chicken noodle soup, I drink water, and I sleep. Like, that is my thing. I just sleep for 2 to 3 days, then boom, I'm back, baby. I'm back. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger in The Terminator. Better than ever. Like a new version of The Terminator.
The new version of The Terminator.
The new one. I'm like Terminator number 6.
The one that didn't make enough money.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, hey,
Christian Bale's hunting me, but then I go and help.
I mean, that's an interesting idea that we have anti-vaxxers who are just like, I'm never vaccinating my child because all the cancer and all the bad things will happen. And then the idea of we're kind of over, we're putting too many healthy items, or not too many healthy items, but too many pills and too many things like that into our bodies. So that's kind of interesting. Maybe we should just get dirty.
Yeah, just get dirty. Get back to our humanistic roots in the dirt and, ashes and things.
Get a little bit sick sometimes.
Yeah.
Let it
happen.
Just don't get the fungus.
Right. It's not the fungus, man. It's not the fungus, man. All right. Moving right along in other news, we go from funguses to bikes. What a transition! So apparently Lyft is going to be re-upping their contract with the city of Chicago. They're trying to add 10,500 new Divvy bikes, which is great because we can all move around. But the evil Uber is trying to snag the contract away from Lyft, and they're promising 20,000 bikes and 10,000 scooters. Gonna get me some scooters.
Wait, are those scooters that they just leave anywhere?
Yes, I think so.
Fuck those.
Yeah, forget that. But I don't. Uber. It doesn't seem like Uber has a chance. Yeah. Some people in some of the aldermen and some people in Congress are saying, well, I mean, it's not really Congress. It'd be just aldermen mostly. There's no Congress in the city of Chicago, although there always appears to be. Really? But we don't know who they are. They're like the Illuminati, but they're called the Congress. But yeah, so some aldermen.
Wait.
What?
A Congress in Chicago would be the Illuminati.
Which just opened up a new store in the Wrigley Building downtown. Get ready for that. Deep dish. I'm Michigan Ave. That's the real Chicago. Okay, whoa. Get out of here. In fact, take your divvy bike through the Illuminatis and get yourself some deep dish. Hey, oh! All right.
You get that out? You good?
All right, I'm fine now. But seriously, so some people are like, well, we should have competition, and the other people are like, no, this is simpler. Just give us more divvy bikes, which is great. I mean, I would use it. I have a bike. I haven't used it yet. I'm waiting for the warmer weather, but Now I'm kind of regretting it because if there's going to be that many more divvy bikes, why the hell do I need to have a bike? I'll just use a divvy bike.
Yeah, I don't ride
Where
bikes.
they gonna put this? I want to know where they're going to put the stations. Is my thing. But then there was a huge issue where people were stealing divvy bikes.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, they're just going to bikes strewn across the streets of Chicago.
Well, I mean, that's better, though, because if they're bringing so many bikes in, you can only steal so many.
That's right. After a while, people get tired of stealing bikes. They're like, I'll just use it.
That's too many bikes to steal. I'm just going to put my money in and take this.
I bet you, how funny would it be if that was a conspiracy where Lyft were paying people to steal the bikes so they could sell more of the bikes? Well, I don't know what happened. They just keep getting stolen. But then the people who steal them just bring them back to a Lyft place and they just resell them to Chicago. That's a plausible scenario, folks. Corruption in this city is pretty well known. It's about as much of a staple as Chicago being next to Lake Michigan. Because it's just a fact. It's a fact.
It's a bold
fact.
It's a statement.
That's right. It's a statement. That's exactly it.
Chicago
is next to Lake Michigan. Chicago is corrupt. Facts. Okay. Facts. All right. So that's interesting. So get ready for your divvy bikes, yo. Okay. Now, what's interesting is we have a lot of transportation theme in these episodes, which is very interesting. But another interesting about the CTA. So you may be able to use your divvy bike on the new CTA approved bus and or bike only lanes. Yes, Chicago. This is a fact. So what ended up happening was the CTA put in basically like a 3-month stint where they were looking at if they added more bus only and bike only lanes, would they increase the amount of people who would be using public transportation?
And
because
did they?
Yes. Well, thank you, Norm, for the segue.
I wanted to know.
Yes. So basically, what they noticed was that overall, the CTA had from year to year over the past few years has seen a 21% decrease in the amount of people using public transportation because it's just basically for anybody who's ridden a bicycle.
A bicycle.
That is a bus and a bicycle. It's a bicycle bus. It's called a bice. Yeah, we're coming out with it soon.
It's just a giant bus that everyone's pedaling in. Like, oh man. Oh man, I pay less for this, but I really get my legs working out. Hold on, shit, my satchel's falling.
It's like being on a Viking boat. There's just a person in the back hitting a big drum.
That's the job I
Gum,
want.
gum,
What,
gum.
what do you do
Bike.
on the weekends? I'm a drummer for Bice in Chicago.
Bice, like Vice. The news thing, but not at all like Vice. Anyway, they saw a 21% reduction in the amount of riders over the past few years.
Okay.
So they said, well, let's put in more of these bus-only lanes and bicycle-only lanes, and let's see what happens. Bicyclists, or cyclists, I don't know what they like to be called. I'm not up with the PC lingo for bicycles.
That you think is a PC lingo for cyclists?
PC police. Next thing South Park's with PC police on bicycles. They say that they feel way safer, which I could imagine if you're in a lane only for bicycles.
Yeah.
And people on the bus say, "Oh, I'm getting there faster." And they've actually done statistical analysis on this. The rides have become 2.3 minutes faster.
Well, that makes so much sense because if you think about it, if you add it all together, there are more people on bikes, so less assholes, jack-offs on the bus. Then the bus is in a lane that's all its own, so it's really going past the speed limit. I mean, it's going faster than it should be.
Right.
You're getting to work on time. You can sit down on the bus. I'm all cool with this. And then bike people have their bike lanes.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm completely all cool with that. I think that's a good idea.
The one thing they found didn't get affected in this study was cyclists being complete jag-offs and riding through red lights. They're still getting hit in the same amount of proportion because you're just all a bunch of a-holes. Abide by the damn rules. You're still technically a vehicle on the road, okay? That's coming from people who drive.
Okay, but we're not saying all cyclists.
Right, not all. Like a minority group within a faction within the group is
that one guy he hit yesterday.
Yeah, exactly.
Those
Screw
people.
you, pal. Okay, I don't want to be going to court next week. Are you kidding me? That's a false story.
It's confession. Is what it is.
Confession time. I hit someone on a bike. Yeah, so anyway, there's a 65% increase that they found of people just through this 3-month period. More people are going on. So that should be happening throughout the city. That might be a new big project. How they will fund it, I don't know. But talking about funding and trains and everything else, a very, very interesting story in the Tribune about our Metro system. Now, Norm, I know you're going to love this story. So, the Metro would like to now put an overpass, a flyover, if you will, over the Grand and Western train routes. Because that tends to be the most highly congested area where all of the train lines converge, both Amtrak and Metra. What they have been finding is that if that particular area were to shut down, pretty much everybody's going to be pissed. It's basically what happens here. Now, here's the interesting thing that the article was talking about. Do you happen to know what operates this main area, basically the hub of the entire train system in the city of Chicago? Do you know what operates this thing or controls this thing?
I'm assuming it's like buttons, levers, I don't know, like some electronic thing that they...
Absolutely not. It is an air-powered apparatus that was invented and used in the 1930s.
What?
Yes, correct. Exactly. We are in the year 2019, and our entire train system in the city of Chicago, both Metra and Amtrak, is being powered and operated by an air pressurized device that was bought and implemented in the 1930s. In fact, it was a switching device bought in 1932 by the Western and Pennsylvania companies that don't even exist anymore.
Are they a monopoly?
Nope. And the system moves by compressed air. And if it's too much air or too little air, the whole thing shuts down. That's correct. It malfunctions. They have a full-time employee watching over this. His name is Oppenheim. It's Oppenheim. That's correct. He is a cousin to Oppenheimer, who created the atomic bomb, which apparently this is. It's apparently an atomic bomb that could go off at any particular time, and all the trains are just going to stop. And then nobody's going to get to where they need to go. It's not an actual atomic bomb. It's not going to blow up.
You're just being
I'm getting
InfoWars
exaggerated.
right now. You're just
I'm
being
going over the
InfoWars.
top
You should
of
have
it.
a raspy voice and just be yelling at the
I'm just
camera.
Alex Jones.
Yeah.
And the frogs are coming!
Just to clarify, that was not true, correct?
Correct. It's not an actual atomic bomb. But what's interesting, it's just ridiculous. And this guy Oppenheim is hilarious. He said, I saw this line was really cool. He says, "Yeah, when it all works out, it's quite a thing to see. But if it fails, it'll halt 4 different train lines." What the actual F? During the winter, they have to have people shift round the clock, making sure that the signaling system works, because the whole thing could come to a halt if this thing...
Okay, so I feel like personally, we can't fire Oppenheimer. Because if we do...
Oppenheim. No, just Oppenheim.
Oppenheim.
He's not cool enough to get the
Well, then my thing is, if we fire this dude, he already sounds like a fucking villain as is. So he would be the one to shut everything down and then lock himself in and be like, "You'll never get me, nor will you ever get anywhere on time.
Trains will never get here again." Yeah, I don't even know if there's anybody who replaces him. That is one job I'm totally cool with not existing anymore. Like, give this guy a great pension and tell him, like, "Hey man, why don't you move to Arizona? Like,
Get out of here.
You've done a good service for the city, but we're gonna implement, an electronic system, blockchain technology."
Like, take this shit to a museum and let people pay $10 to play with it for a couple hours.
It is all a bunch of levers and like little doodads.
Okay, but before we do that,
crazy.
I just want to go and be like, switch, like, it's alive, and just start plugging up shit, and like, what the fuck are you doing?
All of a sudden, a Frankenstein comes out of the other room. You're like, holy crap! I created life.
See, I knew it. Oppenheimer's doing something else.
That's
I'm
right.
calling Oppenheimer.
That's right. That is correct. But anyway, he says that people who are working on the system are like, "No, don't get rid of it. It's so cool." Yeah, because you're the only people who can operate it, so you have a job.
That's job security.
Okay?
No, fuck that. That's job security.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Nope,
Don't
that's
get
the
rid of it.
smartest
It's so cool.
Say that until they get rid of you. Yep.
Exactly.
Keep saying it.
Oh my goodness, absolutely hilarious. But you know what? The problem is, here's the big crux of the issue.
Mm-hmm.
They can't get rid of it. Why? Because to implement a new system and to do this flyover, they would need about Metro has estimated it to be about $500 million project. But they don't have the money. So they're lobbying the state of Illinois to try and get the money. A state that is literally broke, where they can't even fund the pension fund or give any money to the education organizations in the city. And Metro's like, hey, do y'all want to travel out of the city?
Okay, so
Give us $500 million.
who makes up these numbers?
They have people.
I think they're just like, I'm thinking maybe 5 mil. That sounds about right. Everyone's like, okay, yeah, that's good. That's good.
The funny thing is they ask for $500 million, but you don't even know where some of that money's going to go. It's like, oh, $5 million just...
I need you to
like
tell
a
me.
crackhead in a tree, just fucking flies away.
I need you to tell me exactly what this $5 million is going to. Like, oh well, on Tuesday I'm gonna get a sandwich, so that's part of that $5 million.
That's $5.
We're gonna redirect all the train lines, and then I might get a large soda, so that's gonna be another part of the $5 million. Like, I at least need a scope of work here.
Yeah.
Like, give me a detailed information on what you're spending $5 million on.
Hey, Bob, you got that outline for the new train flyover? Yep, gonna cost another $20,000 to finish it though. All right, we got $490 million to go. That's ridiculous. Obviously, there's a lot of things that go into it. There's obviously a lot of materials and products and things that are probably going to go into it. But nevertheless, why are you lobbying the state? Like, my God.
Because no one else will give it to them.
That's, Jesus. Anyway, so we're going to be stuck with this apparatus from the 1930s. So,
Good for you,
Oppenheim.
This one's for you.
To Oppenheim. All right. Now, there is a potential way maybe they could, the state could find funding, and that is a new tax that Pritzker is trying to implement. So J.B. Pritzker, our governor, has been doing a lot in his first 100 days, doing a lot of the things he said he was going to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Now, whether or not you agree with everything he says or not is not the point. The point is he's doing stuff. Why is he doing stuff? Because he's a Democrat in the state of Illinois and in the city of Chicago, where it is all run by Democrats. So it's quite easy to get things done when everybody's on your side.
Sounds like a Republican speaking.
I'm just saying, the logic follows. I will not confirm nor deny anything about what you just said, sir. But the logic follows.
Yeah.
If you have a bunch of ideas and everybody else around you is like, yeah, we also agree with those ideas. It's like, well, cool, let's do it then. And then everybody's like, yeah. And then they do it. And it's like, wow, we did something. That's also a logical...
They should show that in middle schools for, like, explaining government. And then they'll switch it up. And it's like, yeah, we should do it. And we're like, no, we don't want to do it.
Right.
And we're like, okay,
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
that's government.
Oh, my God. So anyway, This is a pretty simple thing. Very short story. But basically, Chicago, or not Chicago, but the state of Illinois is on a flat tax. So basically, everybody, regardless of your income level, pays the same amount, flat percentage, across the board. But Pritzker is now passed. I believe it's at least passed the House or the Senate, and now it's going to the other House to get passed. It would be a graduated tax, which is what the federal government basically does. So the top earners pay more. As it goes down, you pay less. Now, the middle class, basically anybody who's paying from $51,000 or makes $51,000 in income up to about $250,000, your percentage is going to be between 4.5 and 4.9% based on varying levels. But the top 3% of earners, their tax is going to go up to about between 7.2 or 7.9%, from what I read in the Tribune. So, I mean, it's not that huge of an increase, but it's an increase. It's definitely more than what everybody else is going to be paying. Obviously, if you make less than that, you're not paying nearly anything. You're probably getting money back on your tax returns. But nevertheless, maybe they will get more money to pay for the Metro trains from this graduated tax. So there you go. If you're in the 3%, you may like it or you may not like it. Depends where you are on the aisle.
And you shouldn't be watching the show.
You definitely shouldn't be watching this show because you probably know everything we've already talked about because you read. You're up at 4 a.m. reading the paper, and you're like, I read this already. I knew about this 3 days ago. I already invested in the stock market in Metro.
I hope there's a real person out in this world who's watching this.
He's got a monocle.
Exactly like that.
Exactly. He's the Monopoly guy. He exists. He was in the movie Ace Ventura. We all know this. Come on, man. Stick with me here.
Stay on the lane. Stay on the lane.
I'll stay in the lane. Now, let's move on to another thing that J.B. Pritzker has done.
Mm-hmm.
This one is actually, I found rather interesting. I didn't think this was a thing. I thought I would have thought would be less progressive. J.B. Pritzker, by the way, is definitely for, I believe, the legalization of marijuana. However, Aha! Aha! Thanks, Eddie Murphy. I thought you were going to react to that. The smoking age is going up to 21, folks. So first, JB and the Democratic House and Senate moved the buying age to 21, and they saw a significant decrease in the amount of kids between the ages of 18 to 21 buying cigarettes and using cigarettes. And then what they decided to do was, well, this seems like it's working out. So why don't we just make the whole thing 21? You drink at 21, you should be able to smoke until you're 21. Hey, what about tattoos? No, leave that at 18. That's fine. Ridiculous. Hey, should we let people join the army at 21? No, they'll die younger. It's totally fine. Makes no sense to me. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense.
Well, I mean, in reality, no one's actually buying cigarettes. They're just the kids are vaping now.
That's true. There is a lot of vaping. There is a different correlation, but they are reducing cigarette smoking and things like that. They actually found a 35% decrease. Actually, it's a 35% decrease in cig and e-cig purchases, which is interesting.
That's purchases, though.
Correct. They're hoping the same thing will happen.
At 18, you obviously can't buy liquor, but you do drink it, right? Mm-hmm. So
right, it's now just. Thank you. Yes, that was my thing. It's like people are gonna get these kids are gonna get caught smoking, and then what's gonna happen? That's illegal. So we're gonna just get more young people in jail now for smoking? Are you kidding me?
Well, I mean, in reality, they'll probably not get in jail. There'll just be more fines, which will be more money towards Chicago.
Aha!
So,
aha! And then
we pay for the metro station.
Exactly. J.B. Pritzker, a direct quote is, quote, "It will reduce costs for our state. It will make schools in our communities healthier places to learn and live." That's wonderful politician speak for we're going to make more money.
Yeah.
Aha! All right. And so anyway, the smoking age is going to be 21 now. That's going to be statewide. So that includes Chicago. So, hey, if you're turning 18, you lose. You got to wait 3 more years. That's right. You can't smoke and you can't drink, but you'll be doing it anyway because if you're a smart teenager, you'll figure out a way. Okay, moving right along in Otter Nose. Now, Norm, these next 2 stories are quite interesting.
Yeah.
This one in particular I found very, very interesting. All of these stories coming from the Chicago Tribune right now. We also get stories from the Chicago Reader and other various internet sources, but primarily, if you want good Chicago news, read the Chicago Tribune. This is not a plug. They don't advertise. We're not getting paid. But if the Tribune would like to pay us to advertise, we are more than happy to do so. But they probably don't have a lot of money because it's a newspaper, and no newspapers are making money, let's be quite honest. Now, this story I found... However, journalism is a very important thing. We could not bring you this news if it wasn't for these places. So buy a paper, damn it! All right. Now, moving right along. This is an interesting thing. So... the city of Chicago and the CPD have compiled a whole swath of information on gangs. And what the Inspector General just found. Inspector General. Swear to God, that's his title.
Sorry. Okay.
Go, Gadget Pants!
Okay.
Report about gangs. What this report ended up finding was that all of the gang information that has been compiled is wrong and unfounded. So, who knows who's a gang member now?
Please tell me how.
Yeah. Crazy stuff. Now, according to the report, there are 134,000 people currently in the system that are listed as a gang member. However, 15,000 of them are only listed as affiliated with a gang. But nobody knows what the hell that means. What the hell does affiliated with a gang member mean? Yeah, my mom's uncle on her grandmother's side's cousin's friend, twice removed from his brother's uncle's cousin's friend of a friend who's married to a chick who knows a guy's affiliated in a gang. You, sir, are affiliated with a gang. Like, what the hell?
Okay, Okay, can I commend you on not doing a quintessential like black or Hispanic voice for that conference? Like, I don't know any hillbilly gangs other than like white supremacists, but thank you for doing that. I appreciate it. I don't know. I'm gonna ask Manny if he appreciates the same thing because.
Yeah, thanks for the consideration.
Thank you for the consideration.
You're welcome, guys. You know, we're equal opportunity on the Chicago 60 podcast. We've got a white guy, an African American guy, and a Latino guy. We're just all the colors of the wind. Exactly. Thank you, Manny. Manny, feel free to chime in on this or anything else we've been talking about. But yeah, so basically the Inspector General's report has been like, yeah, these gang reports have been racially biased. Really?
No.
Wow.
That's what?
So that's been interesting. Here's some funny things. So people being listed as a gang member, there are people being listed as a gang member that are the age of 75.
Ooh.
Some of them have been listed prior to the year 1901. Cool. Some of them have been listed as 9 years old. Can you imagine being a 9-year-old kid and a cop comes up to you? Hey, man, you're in a gang. What the hell is this? No, I'm not. Yes, you are. Are you? Now I have to be racially stereotyped because it's 95% of the people in here are either African American or Hispanic. Hey, Juan Fernandez, it says here you're in a gang. I don't know what a gang is. You mean a gang of geese? I don't what?
Well, if this kid knows what a gang of geese are, he's in a gang.
Clearly in a gang.
Like, he's definitely in a gang. He's a little too smart.
He's got a
okay.
Look at that tattoo.
His
in his arm.
vocabulary at a 9-year-old.
This is a water tattoo.
Watch out for him. All right, he might be the leader. Okay.
Well, they've gotten really good. They've got tattoos that wash off, so we can't see what kind of a gang they're in. This is a Mickey Mouse. What?
Hey, look at that little lunchbox he's got. It's probably got drugs in it.
Yeah, it's probably got drugs. You got drugs in that lunchbox? What are drugs?
I've got a half-eaten sandwich.
Yeah, it's probably filled with weed. Is it a brownie? Yeah. Oh, it's probably a pot brownie. Arrest him. Like, what is going on here? So, yeah, this is crazy. Oh, here's another funny fact about this report. Apparently, 88% of the people who are listed as a gang member apparently have admitted to being in a gang after they've been arrested. Wow, didn't realize criminals and gang members were so forthright and honest about their gang affiliations.
How do you hide that?
Yeah, well, I guess that's true. I mean, part of is tattoos and marks, but
I'm not in a gang. I don't know what you're talking about, but we caught you on the corner doing gang shit. You fucking lying.
What is this? Law and Order, SVU? Hey, you're in a gang. Yeah, I'm in a gang. Okay, I got.
Yeah, that you.
I'm only doing what I see on the television. I am a third hand. I'm a mediator. Moving right along. So anyway, yeah. So they've had these issues. It's corrupt. So what they're trying to do is there's been massive protests by people saying, "Get rid of the gang reports. They are false. Yeah. They are false." And like the police are saying, "We will update it. We will update it."
I want to be here for this chant back and forth.
And then the people are like, "What's the criteria? We don't know. Make it better." Okay, like that's basically the natural conclusion of where it's gonna go. I don't know how they're gonna make it better. Some people want it completely gone. I don't know. How do you feel about this though? How do you feel about getting rid of the whole thing? Like I get if it's got a lot of bad information, like maybe comb through it. I don't know who the hell's gonna do that. But get rid of the whole. Are they gonna just start from scratch or just be like, we don't care who's in a gang now? See, we'll just police the streets. Like, how does that work now?
My assumption is that if we start all over, we'll just start all over. Like either they're gonna do it right or do it wrong again. 1901, like
yeah, I know.
What?
9-year-olds
in gangs. Now, I don't say that it's not possible, because it is possible. I mean, gangs mainly started to protect neighborhoods. They started to protect families in areas that weren't getting enough food, enough help, enough aid. So people came together to protect each other. Now, I don't know what the fuck they are. But, I mean, if you're going to do it right. But then, once again, we spend all our time and all our money on the Justice Smollett case, So we don't have time to figure out and how to do reports on fucking gangs. Because, yeah.
But you know what we do have money for?
What?
We do have money to upgrade the north side and west side of Chicago. The Lincoln Yards project has been approved. It has just passed. And instead of spending, billions of dollars on education, this Metro train situation, getting a better policing and gang reports so we know who's actually in there.
Any of the city.
No. We're going to spend, and hold on, I have the actual statistic, $6 billion.
We have
billion with a B.
Wait,
Yes.
we have $6 billion?
Yep. Apparently, they found it somewhere.
Well, no, I want part of my $6 billion back. Where did we get that from?
Right, somewhere. What's the duck's name? Donald McDonald Duck.
Mighty? Donald Daffy?
No, the guy, the duck who swims in the old cartoon with the duck.
Wait, okay, there's
This
only
is
like a
taking
few
way
ducks,
too much time
man.
away from.
There's only a few ducks. No, let's talk about that.
Duck McScrooge? Is that his name?
Scrooge McDuck.
Scrooge McDuck.
Okay.
He's
This man wins like the duck that swims.
my
You know,
God.
the duck that swims, right? That duck.
The duck. It's basically Scrooge McDuck. It's like, we just went into the vault and there was Scrooge McDuck with our $6 billion. We're like, Scrooge, we need that money. He's like, get away! Quack, quack, quack. And we're like, nah, man, we need that $6 billion. He's like, well, I have $20 billion, so I guess you can have some. I don't know why he's talking like
You've
an
never
old
watched
vaudeville
DuckTales,
guy.
have you?
No, I never watched
Never seen DuckTales at all.
All I know is the reference of Scrooge McDuck. I was like 8 when I watched
The
it.
man never quacked.
Yeah.
Nor did he ever wear pants.
Oh, God.
But,
Yeah, that's right. They always
the
wear a
point.
shirt, but they never wear pants. It's so bizarre.
Okay.
Why even bother wearing the shirt? I don't get it. Anyway, here's the juice of the Lincoln Yards project, okay? It's a go. It's going to be a $6 billion reconstruction project for the upscale north side, which is 62 acres south of Roosevelt Road and west of Soldier Field. And the upscale part of the north side is basically going to be 55 acres of Lincoln Park near the Chicago River, which is going to be updated with restaurants, offices, residential things like that. So, I mean, it sounds really great, but the whole thing, here's the other funny thing. So, the project is going to be done by Sterling Bay, which is a big property firm, construction firm, and they're going to be putting in. There's the potential that they could put in like $900 million worth of funding into this project. But the funny thing is that the state may end up actually subsidizing $400 million of that. So that means Sterling Bay would only put in about $500 million. So it's this huge. It's like, and that's for like one area of the project. It's like, what is happening here? What is going on? Where? See, back to the beginning of the podcast. Chicago is by Lake Michigan. Chicago is corrupt. These are facts. Facts. I just don't get this, Norm. I don't know what to make of this. I mean, I would like to have I live on the north side, so I'm down with it. But for people on the south side and the west side who need this, it's like, what's going on here?
I mean, obviously, they don't have their priorities in line.
Right.
So.
Clearly.
It's sometimes when you wake up and you start reading stuff like this, you're like, I'm really disappointed. But then I gotta live in it.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I'll take some new restaurants. Sweet. It's all that middle class Lincoln Park money coming. That's what that is. Those suburbanites are gonna be like, ooh, this is so much nicer. Ooh, why didn't I leave the birds earlier? Yeah, jamoke. All right. Anyway, moving right along. That was Danos. I hope you enjoyed that. Now, we've got a couple other quick stories here. We're going to be implementing the information for you into segments moving forward. So now we've got sports. Nice. We'll have a graphic for that at some point.
Yeah, somewhere.
But not right now. So, two very, very quick stories, sports related for all you sports fans out there, okay? Now, baseball season is upon us, so the Cubs are out there. They won their home opener against the Pirates, 10-0. So baseball season is here. Hey! That's all I got to say about that. But two other very interesting stories. For all of you Hawks fans out there, the Hawks, okay? Hockey season's over for the Hawks. They didn't make it to the playoffs. We're all sad and crying. Patrick Kane just got voted captain for the USA hockey team, but the problem is he's not playing in the Stanley Cup playoffs, okay? This is ridiculous. But you know what also is ridiculous is that Coach Q, Joe Quenneville, who was instrumental in the entire playoff run where the Hawks won 3 Stanley Cups in like a total span of 5 to 6 years, he gone. You know where he is now? With the Panthers. Ooh. So somebody picked him up. Here's my thing. I wasn't a big fan of that. I thought they should have kept Coach Q. The Hawks didn't do that great after him. But now he's on the Panthers, which is not a great team. What the hell would happen if the Panthers end up making it to the Stanley Cup? Then what do you do? I don't know.
I don't know anything about hockey.
Manny is a huge hockey guy.
Yes.
Manny, you got any thoughts on the Coach Q thing?
I'm just sad Q's gone.
Yeah, so am I.
I hope he comes back.
Me too. It's not going to happen, but we can all hope.
We can all hope.
We can all hope.
So that's Coach Q. So he's on the Panthers now. Hopefully he doesn't beat the Hawks because that would be weird. Now here's another interesting story. Not only is hockey season over, but so is basketball season for the Bulls. They ended the season 22-60.
Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh. All right.
Yeah, pretty bad. So the problem is, so they went through 2 coaches over the years. Stop laughing, God damn it! You're supposed to be supporting Chicago.
Sure.
You son of a bitch. Okay, I love you, Norm. All right, so gotta keep it PG, even though we've gone way beyond that. Now, the Bulls ended 22-60, which is laughable, as you've demonstrated for everybody here. Now, the problem is they had coaching change in the middle of the season. Fred Hoiberg was a horrible decision. They took him from Iowa State. Now he's at Nebraska. What? Now so they got Pete Boylan. I think his name's Pete Boylan. Coaching, and he did okay. But they had all these injuries. So the top players, Zach LaVine, he had a pretty good season. I think he made it to the All-Star game. I think he was a huge point machine. Lauri Markkanen, the guy from Finland, did very well. He's like a 6'10", like the whitest person you've ever seen. And he's quite good. He's able to shoot the 3, but he's like 6'10", so he plays the power forward position very well. And Wendell Carter Jr., who came from Duke, that's like the core 3. Then they got Chris Dunn, who isn't really fitting into the new system, and it just was a mess because all these guys got injured at like the worst times. And so it's like, well, what do you expect? You know?
Yeah, I agree. If the point line jumps off the base end, the snapshot will be on the tail pipe.
Moving right along, in other news, let's get to the next section, which is theater, arts and entertainment. Arts and entertainment. Some very, very quick things. The Star Wars convention was in the McCormick Place. Hey, all you Star Wars geeks out there, shout out to yous, okay?
We're known as fans.
That's right. So the Star Wars convention was at the McCormick Place. It was a week-long thing. Neither Norm nor I were fortunate enough to make it.
No.
Nor were my friends Kyle and Joe, who are with me in Spuds and Stouts, and they're huge Star Wars geeks, as they informed me at lunch the other day, and they didn't even go. So if you didn't make it, don't feel bad. You didn't miss a whole lot. Just the new trailer for the new movie called Rise of Skywalker, which, if you haven't seen it, too bad. Spoiler, which we're doing after the fact because you should have seen it. What are your thoughts on the new... Did you see the trailer?
No, not at all.
Great. So, moving along, if you didn't make it to the convention, well, you're just not a big enough of a Star Wars geek, apparently. One side effect is the amount of traffic.
Tons of traffic. And apparently on the news, they told a lot of people to... a lot of the Star Wars fans, they told them to watch out and be aware of their surroundings. Now, the picture that they showed with it was an officer standing next to an individual in a Wookiee outfit. So just telling people to be like, hey, by the way, watch out. You may get robbed or hit. I don't know who would rob a Wookiee. Like, I don't know who would come up and go, hey, Wookiee.
Bad idea.
Hey, Wookiee, give me your money.
If you've seen the new Solo movie, you know that's a bad idea.
Because you know they ain't got pockets.
That's right. They just hit things.
That's all fur.
So be careful around your surroundings as TIE fighters and X-Wings shoot by you. You don't want to be caught in a crossfire. So, there you go. Moving right along. Another very interesting thing. in addition to the Star Wars, one thing about the trailer, I will just say very briefly, it was cool.
Oh, always.
I am excited. The Rise of Skywalker, and then they had... I won't ruin it for you. But moving right along, now this is actually very, very cool news. I definitely want to say this before we get to the end. We're almost there, folks.
Almost there.
The Royal Shakespeare Theater is coming back to Chicago. They haven't been here in 25 years. That is actually very cool. They will be performing at the Shakespeare Globe Theater at the Navy Pier. They will be doing a whole slew of performances from, I believe, where is it? I need to find my story. Yes, they will be here starting in August of 2020. They'll be doing shows through August 2020.
Whoa,
they'll be here for a while doing all kinds of different productions. Go check them out. That is so cool. So the Royal Shakespeare Theater, so many great performances and things. Definitely go check them out. I'm going to. I think Norman and I will definitely go. Yeah. We'll do a couple reviews.
Yeah, definitely.
25 years. These are like the top of the top actors in the world, really, doing Shakespeare for Chicagoans. If you don't go,
you're missing out.
You're missing out. So go check them out. We will put up more information about that and where you can buy tickets and what types of shows they will. As time goes on, we'll put that in the links and whatnot. But definitely, that's something to take advantage of, right, Norm?
Mm-hmm. Yes, yeah. Of course.
Even if you're not a theater person, or even like Shakespeare, or even if you hated Shakespeare when you were in high school, maybe this isn't for you. But those of you who did, go. It's going to be great.
You'll love it.
All right. Now, Norm, we're coming to the end here, but before we do, we got to do... That's right. It's time for the Jag-Off of the Week! Nice.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining in on that.
No,
all right, now we have a very funny story, and this guy is a real Jag-Off. Now, this is... Okay. So there was a guy who was at a Jewel's in the South Side on 95th Street. He had his truck with a tractor trailer. He went into the Jewel's, left the car running with the keys in the ignition. Norm, what do you think happened?
Oh my God. The car was still there when he got back, and he ate donuts in his truck and left.
No!
No?
The car was stolen.
Oh,
and it was proceeded to be driven all the way to Calumet City, where the tractor trailer was later found. Now here's the kicker. A full case of Modelo was found intact in the tractor trailer. No truck, but there was a tractor trailer.
It's a Christmas miracle.
It is a Christmas miracle in April. Now, guy, he says, a direct quote from the guy was, "It was a crime of opportunity." No shit, Sherlock. You're on the South Side, bro, and you're leaving a nice truck with a tractor trailer and Modelo? What?
So that seemed like a trap. And maybe they figured that out at one point and left the trailer behind. Because they were like, they opened the trailer, oh, fuck yeah. Wait a minute.
There's Modelo.
This is too much. This is too specific.
They walk in, and that guy from Dateline NBC goes on, "Oh, were you here to meet a young girl?"
This is a little too on point to my, no, I'm going to leave this here, and I'm going to take the part that probably isn't attached.
Or they didn't walk in, and I feel like if they had walked into the tractor trailer and saw the Modelo would not have been there. But I just find it hilarious that they didn't even go in. No, they didn't even look.
They don't need that part.
It was like, oh. Well, the guy still has his Modelo. I'm glad he's got that. But listen, guy, you don't leave your car running in the South Side.
Or anywhere.
You're a Jag-Off.
Or anywhere, in fact. Don't do that.
You're a Jag-Off, dude.
You're a Jag-Off.
You're a Jag-Off. End of story.
End of story, Jag-Off.
The guy who stole it, good for you. The guy who left his car running, you're a Jag-Off. All right, Norm. That is all we have for you all. That is another edition of the Chicago 60 podcast. I hope you all liked it. We will be back here next week. We will be back next Monday because the 21st of April is Easter. If you liked our show, please like on Facebook. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram at Chicago_60. Also, subscribe on YouTube, Chicago 60. Find us there. And now follow us and subscribe on iTunes because we are there at DA Chicago 60. That's right, we're on iTunes, Chicago 60. And as we always like to say here on the Chicago 60 podcast, our favorite phrase, bear down and forget the Packers! everyone. See you next week.
Later.